Why is my mic audio so loud? Okay, let's see, because this sounds a little bit loud. It could just be me, but since the streaming is good. Even though, like, every time I live stream, my live streams just never seem to work for some odd reason. But I will never let go. I know it's a one-way track. Let's see. I guess this is okay. I mean, I'm gonna put it more centered. Open your heart. So right now I'm just trying to test if the stream is fluid, because I did change up some settings. I changed up a lot of settings to see if the live stream is going to be more fluid and less laggy, because before when I live streamed, I don't know what was wrong, but the settings were just like all over the place. So prior to the stream, I looked up a bunch of tutorials on what the hell was wrong, if it was me or if it was just a computer or the live streaming thing. Turns out you really gotta understand all the things that go into live streaming. So a lot of Twitch streamers would understand exactly how to live stream and stuff. So I was working on this yesterday. I started sketching this out on the Note 8, and then I ported it over to Manga Studio, where I did the inks, and then I did the base color in Photoshop, because I wanted the colors to be as accurate as possible. So I did the base colors in Photoshop, so this is the base. And then I'm going to, you know, I wanted to do some cell shading and other things within Photoshop, but I need to download brushes. And since I just bought Photoshop, I don't have brushes for that program yet. So I decided to put it back into Clip Paint Studio and instead do cell shading. Which is going pretty good. I actually downloaded this cell shading brush off of the Clip Paint servers, and I started to do that. I started doing this outside, so it's not that good because the sunlight was obstructing a lot of what I can see and not see. I didn't mean to say that. Not see. What I can and couldn't see. Let me say, I'm going to be almost kind of redoing the colors now that I'm indoors and I'm able to see it better. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me clear. I hope that you can hear the music clear, because I had to also Google search how to get the music in the background, and it was just a pain in the neck trying to get that. So let's see. This is going to be me showing you guys my process, because I really don't think that when I put my art online, sometimes I feel like, you know, people just don't believe that I draw it, because I don't really show my process and I don't exactly explain or show how I do certain things. And that's what I want to do with this channel moving forward. Like, I want to show you guys my process, and I want to show you guys the way I think when it comes to these things, such as drawing characters like Sonic and my own stuff that I want to show you guys. Not in this video, but probably in the next live stream. I do want to make this maybe a constant thing with the live stream, if this live stream does go well, because I really do enjoy live streaming. You know, I wish I could do it more often. I just don't want the live stream to be so laggy, and then it just destroys the quality of these videos. That's exactly what I don't want. So right now I'm just gonna go in and clean up any messes that I might have left behind. Prior to this, when I was working in Photoshop, because when I downloaded Photoshop, since I have a Surface Pro 4, right? This is a laptop and a tablet hybrid, so there's only so much that this thing can take. And I've stated this in previous videos that this is my main computer. This is my main component of creating and putting content out there. This is the only thing that I have. And since I'm using it for browsing, I'm using it for video editing, I'm using it to create. Now I'm really pushing the software to its limits. And when I downloaded Adobe products, you know, those are some really high quality products, and they really do take up a lot of RAM and a lot of space on your PC. So when I downloaded Photoshop, it usually lags a lot. So I had to really mess with the settings, and I had to not touch it for a while. And today when I was using it, it actually did minimum lag. It almost felt like I was working in Clip Paint Studio, which was cool. I enjoyed that. And I used to be pretty proficient in Photoshop. When I first started doing digital coloring, it was back in the day. It was probably like around 2014, 2015. I had a regular computer, and then I had a Wacom Bamboo tablet, and I had Adobe Photoshop Elements. I forgot what the number was. I think it was 11 or something. And I basically used that to create all of my stuff, because I'm not sure what was the difference between Elements and Photoshop, but Elements could do everything that the regular Photoshop program had. And the Photoshop Elements came with the Bamboo at the time, I believe. Yeah, it came with my Bamboo. So when I downloaded it, I was able to paint, and I was able to draw, and I was able to do all these things, and I was able to manipulate the pictures. So I'm not sure what the point was. What was the point with putting Elements in the title? So I was doing that, and I was pretty proficient in Photoshop, and I was pretty proficient in doing a lot of things with the Elements software. But yeah, ever since Adobe started charging month to month for their stuff, unfortunately, I did not purchase it at all, because I didn't want to spend $50 a month. $50 a month plus tax, paying for the product that I used to just pay for one time. I thought it was really ridiculous, and I still think it's really freaking ridiculous. But the thing is, the reason why I purchased Photoshop now is because it's the industry standard in making comics. When you're looking for a job, they're going to ask you if you have some sort of Photoshop experience, and that's definitely something I want to have under my belt. So I guess this is a good investment in terms of following my dream. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's see, I have nobody talking to me in the chat right now. I got 2 people watching. I'm actually watching this on my phone as well, because I didn't want to pull up the chat on my tablet, because it was a big window, and I didn't want it to obscure anything that I was working on. If I had a dual monitor, that would be pretty cool. But getting my setup is going to be a long process, because it's going to be a real investment. And when I do finally attain that much money and have my own little setup, you guys will definitely be the first people to know and experience that along with me. But to whoever is in the chat, thank you for I mean in the live stream, thank you for watching. I appreciate that, and I hope you're enjoying the Sonic Adventure music in the background, if you can hear it clear. So I'm working on this right now. Actually, let me share this live stream so I can get other people up in here. And let's see. So I shared this to Facebook, yes now. I'm gonna share it to Twitter. Let's see, where else can I share it to? Direct Discord. Nah, I'm not gonna. Nobody's not even on my Discord anyway. Oh, I can share it to DeviantArt. That's so cool. That is really cool. I did not know I could share this on DeviantArt. That's a new thing. Sonic Discuss. That's really cool. I'm not going to share this on Vero because it's still a fairly new app and I had a lot of trouble with it already. And so I'm not going to share it on Vero. When I was doing a Vero, when I was doing the account, unfortunately, like I did the account and everything, but damn, it's so stupid. It wouldn't let me sign in for the life of me. So I had to contact them and they were like, oh, we had a lot of people contacting us. We're working hard to ensure blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm not entirely sure why this app blew up if, you know, it doesn't even freaking work. So let's see if I filled in all the lines. I like my base colors to be at least semi sort of detailed and clean and nice. I feel like my Facebook app is not working. I'm so happy I got so much subscribers now. It's really nice. You know, this channel really has not moved that much in the past couple of years. That's because I was doing a lot of different things on this channel. If I have subscribers from way back in the beginning when I first started doing my channel, I was doing a lot of cosplay stuff that I deleted all those videos. So if you go back to my channel, you're not going to find those damn videos. Retry. For some reason it does not want to. For some reason it does not want to post on Facebook that I'm live streaming. For some reason. Oh, there we go. Let's see. So yeah, when I first started doing the YouTube channel, I started doing cosplay skits because I was really into cosplay back then. I still am. Because I was really big on anime and I was really big on manga at the time. And when I first discovered anime cons, I was such a nerd because it was a whole nother world that I had not experienced and I have not known about because I was so secluded, I guess. Not secluded, just really kept to my family growing up. And then when I started to discover, this culture that I really enjoyed and had a real passion for, I was just like, I want to go to all these cons and I want to meet all these people. And my first anime convention, actually, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing what I did, but I met a whole bunch of people online prior to it, and we all met up at the convention. The reason why I wouldn't recommend it now is because, there's a lot of dangerous things out there. And I was so young at the time that I was just like, I was so naive, but it wasn't a bad experience, actually. I had two friends. I linked up with these two people online, and then we met at the anime convention. And then, oh my god, we had so much fun, because I was cosplaying, that first anime con, I was cosplaying as Roxas. And the girl, I don't remember what she was cosplaying, because I don't think I know the anime in which she was cosplaying. And the guy, he was like a hybrid of Cloud and himself. So it was just nice, because we was just walking around and we was talking about all these things, and we was eating Pocky and Ramune, the usual convention things. I believe I still have some of that convention on my channel, with the Yaoi paddle in 2009, because back then the Yaoi paddle really blew up, and it was just like, that was the best experience that I ever had in my life, was that first anime convention that I ever went to. And I cosplayed, and I actually felt really good, and I felt like I belonged in the community, and it was great. After a while of knowing the anime and manga community, I know that there is a lot of there is a lot of nasty people in that community. And I don't want to say that I've separated myself from it. I just think that I've kind of like backed off from it a little bit. I'm not as obsessed with anime and manga as I used to be. Just because I don't have that much time to be reading and watching anime that frequently anymore, unfortunately. But instead, I've focused and shifted all my energy towards making art like this. So hopefully my sacrifices will pay off. So let's see what I did here. Oh no. So the thing about the Surface Pro 4 is that the palm rejection is kind of shit. Especially when I'm working in Manga Studio, because if I lift up my palm from the screen and if I lay it back down like really fast or something, the program is going to think that it's my finger, and you're going to see it like get tossed like that really fast. Just to let you know, that's not me doing it, it's the computer. For some strange reason. Sometimes it would just click the toolbar. Sometimes it would just click out of the program. Just because I'm not sure what exactly it's registering my palm as, but it's really weird. So yeah, the experience with that has not been pleasant. I've been trying to figure out how the hell to get rid of that. So yeah, guys, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up on this live stream. I really appreciate it. I want to get more people in here, and let's have a big chat about the news that happened today at South by Southwest during the Sonic panel. I totally got really inspired, which is why I'm drawing this right now, because I got really freaking inspired. Okay, let's continue to clean this crap up before I start diving in to what I'm doing. I gotta increase my knowledge in color theory. It's not good. Yeah, let's just erase that. Okay. Choosing the cell shading color palette for Tango for this color was extremely difficult. I tried many different colors, and I just basically tried experimenting with, you know, what color palette, what's going to be my color palette, and what 2 colors are going to work, or 3 colors are going to work best for her. If you're popping into the live stream, don't hesitate to like leave a comment, or if you want to chat or whatever. When I usually drop in live streams, I like to have my presence be known in some way. But most of the YouTubers I'm subscribed to, like, their live streaming chat be going off the roof, and I don't even try. But since I'm a smaller channel, luckily I can see all the comments and stuff. I don't think I ever see myself really getting that big, honestly. And I don't think I want to get that big on YouTube. Not that big. I want to get big enough, but not that big where my comments are just pouring. Because I really want to show my appreciation to people, and that'll be extremely hard to do if my comments are just skyrocketing. Oh my god, I love this music. Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, hey Zach, how are you, buddy? I hope you're doing well, man. That's great. I appreciate that. Watching the South by Southwest panel really got me inspired today. I'm pretty sure, I hope you watched it. It was a lot of juicy, it was some good things, but the last thing at the very end, that was, interesting. And I could have swore Sega said that it wasn't going to be another All-Stars Racing. And they highlighted the R in that last thing. And it was just very... And Aaron Weber said that it wasn't a sequel to any past Sonic games. But Sega be trolling. They was trolling that entire thing. Yeah, Classic Sonic is being pushed to the extreme. honestly, I was expecting a 3D Sonic thing. Like, I thought that they was gonna be done with Mania, and I thought that they wasn't gonna make like another classic Sonic announcement until later this year. But I was really hoping for maybe another 3D Sonic mobile title, or I was expecting them to focus on the comics. But still having classic Sonic here, I don't know. It's like I'm so happy Mighty and Ray are coming. After I don't know how many freaking years that they're finally showing up, but yeah, that classic Sonic though. I'm excited for that art book though. Um, there's somebody on Twitter named Linkable, something like that. I know that person sent an art thing to Aaron Weber, and I'm hoping that maybe they're going to be a part of that art book somehow with the designing. That would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, Tyson, dude, that animation, that was so clean and it was spot on. I was literally sitting in a Burger King watching this live stream, and I was trying my damn hardest not to scream when I saw that animation. My first thought was that I thought there was going to be some voice acting, but luckily there isn't any voice acting, which is very interesting. Um, and if there was going to be voice acting, I would want the guy, I forgot what his name was, but the guy who did Sonic's voices for Sat AM. I definitely wanted him to voice Sonic if they had voices for that. Because Tyson has expressions for Sonic, looks very cocky, and with that voice, I feel like it will just match. Oh yeah, they did not talk about forces at all during that entire thing, which was a bummer. Like I was expecting them to maybe like do an expansion pack for forces, fix their mistakes and just be like, hey, we're including new playable characters, we're including new stages, we're including new battle modes or some shit like that. Like just make the game the way it was supposed to be. But no, yeah, they wanted to focus on Sonic Mania, which is not a bad thing, but it's like, damn, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I was really expecting some 3D Sonic action. Oh yeah, the speed battle thing, right? But overall, I'm really impressed. Like that wasn't a bad panel. I feel like Sega has something going on, and we're gonna find out. And hopefully, whatever they have planned, if this, if working with Tyson and working with IDW, will hopefully save Sega in a way. I feel like Tyson and T-Loops is the best thing that happened to Sega in a very, very long time. Oh yeah, I know. Like I've been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter, and then with them saying that that same Sonic is the same Sonic from Generations, it's the same Sonic from Forces, the same Sonic from Mania, and I'm just like, bro, does it really fucking matter? It's Sonic. Yeah, the community is definitely like becoming more and more divided, and I feel like Sega, if they focus on classic Sonic, it's bad. If they focus on modern Sonic, then it's bad. I feel like if they keep listening to their fans a little bit more, um, then maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But it's like listening to your fans. Like most of the fan base in this community is very, very toxic. And it's just crazy. Sometimes it just gets really crazy. The things people say. Or how offended somebody can be. Just for saying that you like a specific game. Like, it's so fucking crazy, man. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm getting this right. I'm gonna like exaggerate this a little bit more. Why is that? You didn't like any of the announcements? Sega just wants more money out of you? People who were actually at the panel got an exclusive print. That's why I'm sad. I'm very freaking sad. For free. Let me point that out, for free. If you go on the website, the Sega.Sonic.com, the Sega shop, the Tails thing is cost money. The Tails print. Oh yeah, I think we as a community need to gear up for that. More drama, more YouTube conspiracy videos. Whatever Sega is going to announce within the coming months. And then the comics. Like, this fan base is going to go out of control. And then you got the comics fan base. I'm very surprised that nobody at this panel asked any questions about Saturday AM. Saturday AM, wow. About Saturday AM, because at the IDW panel in Comic-Con, got a lot of questions about that. I was expecting at least one or two people to be asking Aaron about the Saturday AM characters. They're just trying to avoid that like it's the plague, man. The racing game, yep. The racing game, I just wanted to see the title. I just wanted to see the title. The R wasn't enough, especially since Aaron said it's not a sequel to any of the previous Sonic games. And I'm just like, what does that mean? They was just trolling that entire thing. And I was so upset, especially when Azuka was like, oh, Sonic Mania Plus is going to be released in December 2018. And they were like, just kidding, it's going to be released in summer. And I'm just like, can you stop playing with my emotions? Please. I was screaming at my phone in public because I was having so much anxiety. I really hope they're partnered with good people to be working on that game. The Sonic and Sega series, like, I liked it, but there was just a lot of things about those games that I didn't like. The last one I played was for the Wii. I think that was the original one. And I like that. I like the online play. I like that it was balanced, it was fair. But I felt like for a racing game, it could have been just a little bit better in my opinion. I don't know. You must demonstrate a sense of dignity. So yeah, maybe it's the story, maybe it's not. Hey Alex, what's up? Your icon is looking very, very nice. I wonder who did that for you. Whoever did that icon must be a very talented artist. You should link me his pages, like his Instagram or Twitter or something, so I can follow this artist who did your icon. Now let's zoom out to see if my lighting is good. So right now I'm having the lighting come from here, so it's going like that. Let's see. This is the part that I'm not good at, is shading. I really hope this music is acceptable. I mean, since my channel is demonetized, it's really not going to make a difference whether I have copyrighted music on my channel or not, right? And Sega doesn't care. I've never seen them strike a channel who uses their music, so... I worked more on the script. Oh yeah, you should send me it over on Messenger. I would love to see it. I wish I could write scripts. I wish I could write, period. I can't force myself to sit down and write. Believe it or not. I don't know. I used to write a lot of stories when I was in high school. I'm pretty sure I could still do it, but... I'm always holding myself to a standard, and I need to stop doing that. I'm not an IDW, not just yet. I did email 4 pages to them on the 6th, and I have not heard back from them yet. But I'm pretty sure that they are swarmed with work right now, considering they're going to be releasing the comics every single week in April. So if they don't get back to me right away, I'm not going to have a heart attack. I'm just going to keep producing pages and sending them out. Oh, every YouTuber who hasn't completed a threshold, which is like 10,000 minutes or like something, it's just a lot of hours of watch time and something. Like, there's a certain threshold that you have to have obtained within a certain amount of months. And a lot of YouTubers got demonetized because people are blaming it on the Logan Paul situation. And yeah, so right now my channel is absolutely demonetized until I can get some sort of miracle 10,000 subscribers and X amount of watch time. But I'm not really concerned because I never really. The most I made off of YouTube was probably like $10, and I never seen a check from them. So I'm not really that upset. Are you going to get LSC next month? Can you please elaborate on LSC? I'm so sorry, I'm dumb. Without going into too much detail, how much of one page do you have complete? I have to ink one more panel, and then I have to start the inks. Not the inks, the colors. And then I'm going to send it over once I have the inks done. And then the color panel I'm choosing, I'm looking into references for like a couple of Batman issues because I really like the coloring, like the ambient lighting. Since the scene in that page seems very depressing, I'm going to use some Batman comics references to color that page. Yeah, they never paid me. You have to have at least made $100 in order for them to pay you out. It's really dumb, isn't it? So you would have to be a YouTuber who is just starting and somehow getting all these people to watch your videos and then get creative every day with uploading a new video. The Lower Sioux Chronicles? Oh yeah, definitely gonna pick that up. I have a lot of spending to do, but luckily I'm getting a raise in my job, so I'm going to have enough money to get the comics and get the Lower Sioux Chronicles. I'm really excited for that. I've actually been waiting for the Lower Sioux Chronicles for a while now. Like, I wish Ken would just post up more updates, like sketches or something. I just wish he would post more updates on what he works on. I wish a lot of big time comic book artists were like that. I know Tracy, he absolutely does not, under any circumstances, on his Patreon, he does not post any of his work in progress. He doesn't even post like a sketch of it. And I'm just like, if I could just see that. Because even if you post something on Patreon, you can't save the picture anyway. I guess people can screenshot it. Yeah, I wish he would post things like that. I hope you guys can hear this wonderful music in the background. I hope it's loud enough for you guys to hear it. Some wonderful Sonic Adventure music. Considering we're about to get Sonic Mania Adventures, I think that word adventures should be a taboo with Sega. It needs to be a taboo. Every time they use that word adventures, like Sonic Rush 2 Adventures. What else has the word adventures in it? I know they made something else that had the word adventures in it. How's about a Sonic 06 Adventures? I'm a horrible person. Oh my gosh, Tango looks so nice. She is really pretty. I wonder how old she is. Since she looks higher than Tails, I'm pretty sure that she's older than Tails. She would have to be like around Sonic's age. She looks about Blaze's age though, I guess. Do I like the human proportions of Lorisu? You know, when I first started drawing Sonic, that's exactly how I drew it with human proportions. Because I used so much of Ben Bates and I used so much of Ken Penders. Because when I decided that I wanted to be an artist for Sonic the Hedgehog, this was back then when they was with Archie, I always enjoyed the old school style and I wanted to bring that back. So when I would send like little sketches to Archie, I would show it with the Sonic human proportions. And yeah, that's how I got gracias. Oh my gosh, this is my dinner. But yeah, I started out with the human proportions when I was drawing Sonic. So I like them, yeah. I feel like if they're drawn like how they was drawn back in the day, they definitely work. It's like a hybrid of cartoon and anthro. And I really freaking enjoy that style. That style was very eye-catching and it was simple. And it was just a breath of fresh air for Sonic. You know, to be drawn in that way, in a very mature way. Oh yeah, Sonic Runner's Adventure. I bought that game, actually. I enjoy playing it when I'm sitting on the toilet or something. I haven't completed it, though. Like, sometimes that game can be really ridiculous. Oh yeah, definitely. Drawing Nox is very natural. I feel like if I were to draw him in, you know, in Tracy Yardley style, it probably wouldn't work. It would just look like I'm drawing a really grown person in a chibi style. When this style is obviously meant to be mature. But yeah, I really like Ken Pender's style and Ben Bates, you know, the original, the old Sonic crew. When I used to play the Mega Collection, they would have a whole archive, a whole library of these old pictures, and every time I would play that game, I would have to look at the comics because it was just like, wow, very inspirational. That's actually when I didn't have a computer, or if I didn't have internet, I would just boot that game up and I would start drawing them from reference. Okay, get rid of that. Oh hey, Billy Neh, that animator guy. You like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? Because that Neh reminded me of Little Karibo. You know, in a couple of videos ago, somebody has been asking me why do I like Sonic so much. I really want to answer that question in this live stream. Oh yeah, I did hear the news about that Stephen Hawking guy. I was pretty sad about that. That guy was a nice guy. So yeah, that question had me thinking, why do I like Sonic so much? Um, and my answer is probably going to be a typical answer. Um, but it all started when I was a child, and I was born in the 90s, but all of my brothers and sisters were older than me, so they had Ataris, they had Segas, they had Nintendos. So I find it really funny when people ask me how old am I, and I tell them I was born in the 90s. They're like, oh, but you don't know what it's like to play old school games. Okay, but like if you have older siblings who have those consoles, of course I know what it's like to play older games because I grew up on them. So so we had a Genesis back then. I don't think we had anything past Genesis. I have played with Dreamcast, and I've played with all the systems at this point. But the one thing that really got me to really like Sonic when I was playing it was, believe it or not, the music. The music was very nice, and it's fast paced, and I don't know, there was just something about Sonic that made me just want to keep playing. But at the same time, I didn't want to keep playing because back then, if you died, you had to start the whole game over. So you can kind of guess how many times I actually played that game all the way through. Considering at this time I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. But playing Green Hill Zone consistently and playing was it Emerald Hill and Chemical Plant, those were very iconic stages, and they were like awesome. Let me take a bite of my pizza really quickly. Wow, that's really good. Assuming you don't use the level select. Oh, the magic wand tool. I use it, but the thing about the magic wand tool is that if I select something and let's say I'm doing cell shading, there is a little white line that appears when you're done deselecting it. So I would rather be safe and just like go in on my own, because the magic wand tool will only probably select up to right here, and there will be that little white line there that you will have to go back and just like color it in. So I would rather just not do that. The magic wand tool in Clip Paint Studio is not as accurate as the magic wand tool in Photoshop. So that's a real downside to this. Sonic 2 is my baby. The level select in Sonic Genesis? No, I haven't played Sonic 1 in a while. I usually just play the port on my phone. Yeah, Sonic 2 is my all-time favorite Sonic game. Well, this is coming out really cool, I guess. So yeah, after that experience I had with Sonic, I took a very long break from Sonic. It was a couple of years, and then I rediscovered the comics in my early teens. And then I started to draw it again. I don't remember which issue it was. No, I do remember. It was the issue where it was Sonic's birthday, and Scourge was there in the base, and they were fighting. Shadow and Sonic were teaming up to take down Scourge. but I don't remember which issue it was. So that was the issue that brought me back into wanting to actually draw for Archie. And then when I rediscovered the comics, I went back and started putting the pieces of the puzzle together where I left off. Okay. This is Tangle. She is a lemur. Her favorite foods consist of grub, leaves. I think she's a Are lemurs vegetarian?
No idea. I think so. They might eat like bugs or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I said grub. Like Lion King grub.
Yeah.
There's a cheat code that allows you to choose every level. Oh man. Oh, interesting. If I ever get a Genesis, I have to do that. There's actually a local store that I go to that sells retro game consoles and retro games, but they're really expensive. Like, I've been meaning to get an N64, but they're like, they run for about 90 to 120 bucks over there. Unfortunately, I had a very limited childhood when it comes to the N64 because one day my father had gotten me an N64, right? The best time of my life, because every time I was done with my homework, I would play the specific game, and it was Tarzan. But then a week later, I come home and my N64 is gone because he gave it away. He resold it back to the store that he bought it from. And I was devastated.
So, like, this lady don't got nipples or what?
I was very devastated. Like, I was in tears. Okay. Wow.
She got no nipples. She got Barbie boobs.
There's actually another story that had me devastated when I was a kid. I had a whole collection of Dragon Ball Z action figures, right? And I mean, I had every single Dragon Ball Z character you can possibly think of. Even the ones that weren't available in the United States. The ones that you had to get exclusively from Japan. I had every single action figure, right? So, my mother, she saw that I was playing too much with action figures, and she's the type of mother that is like, you have to keep up with your studies. She was like I was the Gohan and she was the Chi-Chi, right? She's always like, you have to keep up with your studies and blah, 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 blah. Always had me writing more than what I had to write for homework. Like, if I had to write down 10 words, she would have me write down 20 words. So, she noticed that I was playing too much with these action figures and I was getting too much into Dragon Ball Z. She decided not to keep them in a box somewhere and give it to me later. She threw away 95% of my Dragon Ball Z action figures. The ones that were alive were the ones that wasn't in the box and that was in my room. That was Goku, Piccolo, Master Roshi, the Turtle, and Krillin, and a few Dragon Ball GT ones. And that experience was the most devastating experience I can ever possibly describe, especially being a 7-year-old kid. And, you know, at the time, you know, the late 90s was the boom of the anime, and Dragon Ball Z was extremely popular back then. And to have all that just taken away from me, especially when something was becoming extremely popular, was very heartbreaking. And like, you know, you're a kid. If you get a new action figure, you're taking it to school and you're showing the kids your whole entire Dragon Ball Z collection, and you're like, look at what I have, and you officially become a cool kid because you have Dragon Ball Z action figures, man. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry for my 7-year-old self too. It was very devastating. And I keep reminding her, because I'm never going to let her live that down, because she owes me over $200 worth of Dragon Ball Z merchandise. Me and my older brother. I think Tango looks good, yeah. Now on to Sonic. I think Sonic is okay. Oh, the classic Sonic. The two different types of Sonic where he has the eyelids colored the same as his skin. Do you like the eyelids color better with his skin color or his overall blue color? Where is the... Oh, crap. There we go. Blue is bad, right? Blue is bad. It doesn't look as good, especially on modern Sonic. I feel like definitely this color separation is nice. I was really practicing with the hands here. I'm very bad at doing the hand folds like this, so I wanted to practice a little. Well then, it will be a day to die for. You're comparing yourself to me? You're not even good enough to be my fake. My name is Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog. How come you chose Classic? Mainly because I wanted to practice on Classic Sonic. And I wanted to make Tangle Classic, but it didn't really work out. So I just made her smaller. Maybe it could be like a Sonic Mania thing. Do Sally versus Tango. You know, it's funny that you say something like that, because I don't know if you remember, but I think I posted this on Twitter the other day. And I've been messing around with it ever since, but I can't figure out how to get the background. I wanted the background to be like a cafe. Maybe have Sonic in the background, but I also wanted to put Chow Garden Cafe or Chow in Space Cafe. Just have that somewhere within the background, but I wouldn't know how to do it. Oh my god, do you ever just get these when you're drawing? Okay, let's see. Now let's work on this other layer that I'm going to completely erase. Let's go back. Yeah, completely erase. Okay, let's see. Maybe I should put this to like a normal, not screen. Because if I put it to overlay, yeah, it's not going to do anything. That looks so weird. Like the colors are still in the same range. Make Knuckles the barista. Make Silver. It's no use to make Silver the barista. Yeah, I'm the type of person, I love punny jokes. I shared this picture on Twitter. Ken Penders was talking something about Sega and stuff, and Archie. And somebody put this picture. Somebody put this picture of Knuckles doing a dab, and they were like, "Are you gonna Laura sue them?" I was literally in tears. Oh my gosh, that was just the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. Yeah, I like this soft color on Sonic. The problem with doing it normal is that it's going to take away some of the blacks here. Which is why if we change the layer mode to, let's say, multiply, then these lines are going to pop out even more, and that's something I don't want. If I change it to screen, it's just going to lighten it. And if I put it to overlay, then yeah, you're not really going to see much there. So let's see what we can do about this right here. Dun, 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 dun. So doing a softer color usually blends it a little bit better. I like that. My god, this music is amazing. That's nice. Still here? Oh yeah, you probably heard that lower suit thing then. Julie suit. Yes, they are. You know, you wouldn't think that looking at most of my stuff, but oh my god. First of all, I hate coloring my stuff. The reason why I hate coloring my stuff is because I'm not good at it. The reason why I'm not good at it is because my color theory is just so out of whack. If you compare my colors with another amateur artist, but let's say he's more into coloring and not into drawing, and I'm more into drawing than coloring, you can definitely see that there's a staple there. And I try my best to understand color theory and understand what colors go together and understand how to construct my layers and how to do all these things with colors. But yeah, it's extremely difficult for me. It's like when Aang was learning earthbending. It was extremely difficult because it's like its counterpart. For me, I can construct shapes and forms and all that stuff. I just don't know how to color. And if I practice coloring every single day, I can totally be a great colorist. But the thing is, I don't. I practice sketching every day, and comic making every day. Oh, Sonic, you are really nice today. That new Sonic Mania Adventures, I wonder if T-Loops is going to have the music sound like an adventure series. Oh yeah, I'm totally open to paying for somebody. Like, I really want to do logos, and like I want to do all this stuff, like have like a channel animation, and I want to just have a lot of things, and I'm totally open to paying for it. But it's like I just don't want to pay somebody, you know, something lackluster. I would totally save up for it. I would totally pay them what's beyond their budget, because just doing all of this is just crazy and it's no joke. And I can't imagine what it's like for animators. You know, that's why I tried doing Fiverr, but when I started to discover the services and how it doesn't add up to what artists do, I just stopped Fiverr altogether. Because if you're gonna pay $5 for like a 10-second animation, that's mutiny. Usually 24 frames of drawing goes into 1 second of animation. And it's, oh my gosh, animation is crazy. I'm actually thinking about continuing that animation that I was doing a while back. That's also why I want to pick up an iPad, because when I'm on the train, I could just work on that animation with something so lightweight as the iPad, rather than just carrying this heavy surface around with my external hard drive. The one thing I hate about this microphone is that it picks up every sound. So it's like I'm trying to eat, but I'm trying to eat softly. But it's like I'm choking at the same time. Because I'm eating so soft because I don't want to sound like a barbarian. It really doesn't matter which, if you get the Surface or the iPad, but I would say definitely the iPad is more keen to sketching and the Surface is an all-around thing. The thing with the iPad is that now that Clip Studio is an app on the iPad, I can definitely take my stuff to go and like start sketching better on the iPad and most likely more faster. And you know, I don't think an iPad has more of a chance getting stolen than a Surface on the train because everybody got Apple products. That's the one thing I'm afraid of with taking the Surface with me and drawing on the train is that it's gonna get stolen. I feel like with Apple products, since everybody has Apple products, mine is most likely not going to get stolen out of my hands. And the Surface is bigger than the iPad that I want. I don't want the biggest iPad, even though artists say I should get it. I always liked working with smaller things. I really like how soft he's coming out. Can't believe this is taking me forever to finish this. Something getting stolen out of your hands. You know, it's not. It used to be very common, but it's not that common anymore. Because I grew up in New York all my life, so I've seen a lot of things. But it used to be really common when I was growing up. Now, it's not so much common because everybody is walking around with their phones in their hands. I'm just extremely paranoid. Because my Surface is worth well over $1,200. And that's very expensive. But for me, I got it for a great deal, like $1,000 on Black Friday. So I got the keyboard and the Surface for about $1,000. But in New York, you really have to be careful where you go. If you're out of state, definitely stick to Manhattan and Brooklyn. Places you don't want to go to is Staten Island and the Bronx. And the Queens is more of a suburb place. So mostly just for like communities and stuff. But Brooklyn and Manhattan, they have a lot of things for you to see. Okay. Yeah, let me just do that on a different layer. I have the Surface 4, but I have the less powerful model. I wanted to get the Surface Book because it's more of a laptop than it is a tablet. Just because I want to use an actual laptop for video editing purposes and just doing other things. Because I just got the Surface for drawing, but then my computer had broken down because the battery was stripped. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to the Surface, like, because I'm always having to charge it because the battery life is not that good. The battery life is only good if you're not running so much apps on it. And since I'm constantly running Photoshop, Clip Paint, and internet, the battery just goes. There. A lot of artists say not to use the airbrush, but if you look at Matt Hearn's style, he uses the airbrush a lot with his drawings. He uses a lot of blending and airbrushing, and the cell shading is a really good complement to it. The badass echidna. I don't know what kind of a question that is. Do I have a Switch? I have a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a Wii, a Wii U, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One, 60, the original Xbox. I have a PlayStation 1, 2, 4. I don't have a 3. I'm an extremely, extremely heavy gamer. I have Switch. I play Breath of the Wild a lot. I did get Sonic Mania for the Switch. I got Sonic Forces for the Switch. I got both Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces for the Switch. No, I got Sonic Mania for the Switch and the PlayStation 4. And then I got Sonic Forces for the Switch and the Xbox One. Do I like Forces? I really like Forces, actually. I don't like it as much as, you know, an adventure game. But I definitely like it. After a while of, you know, listening to the soundtrack and playing through it, it's a nice casual game. And I feel like I can definitely play that when I'm not feeling like I want to be competitive. Or I'm not feeling like I have to complete this level because it's life or death, and I'm never going to hear the end of it if I don't complete this level. You know, the level is definitely achievable. But Forces is not the type of game for a Sonic player. If you've been like a long time fan and you're just looking for that game that you want to sit down and play for hours and hours and hours, Forces is definitely a game that you complete within 2 days. or even a day if you have plenty of time. But for me, I enjoyed, just playing through it. And I liked the attempt that they were trying to do with the story. Even though I have this very vivid animation in my head that I've been wanting to work on since Forces came out. And I did a picture on it. It's called "This Is the Way the World Ends," where I had Sonic in the foreground, I had Infinite in the background, where he's about to throw this like spirit bomb at Sonic. That was originally supposed to be an animation that I wanted to do because, I just felt like that last scene could have been done more powerful. And if it wasn't trying so hard to appeal to a really young audience, that game could have been one of the greatest games in Sega's history. Because 45% of their fan base is made up of children, right? But they got their older fans who, those are the people they should be listening to, is the critics, because they're older and they know Sonic, and older people are wiser in a way. And Sega should not just always try to appeal to younger audience. And even so, the kids of this generation are not that protected and not that stupid. Hopefully not. Because when we were growing up, games were rarely censored like that. And it's just dumb how they're trying to censor every little thing. Like with the Super Mario Odyssey controversy, with Mario having nipples, and people just got a fuss because Mario has nipples. It doesn't make sense. Things like that. If Sonic Forces was deconstructed and put back together, and we saw that it had darker tones, it would have darker tones. It would have just so many other elements in the story that we as an audience can relate to, and I'm pretty sure a younger audience will be able to relate to that as well. With the darker tones, because little kids go through things too. This is really nice. Oh my god, Luigi, man. And a lot of these critics don't even play video games. Yeah, Forces was definitely darker than Adventure. The Adventure series, I feel like it was laying out the foundation, something bigger that we were supposed to be expecting from the Sonic series. I feel like the Adventure series, when it first started, it was a revamp of Sonic, right? So I feel like with the first Adventure game, we was being reintroduced to the characters that we already know, but in a different perspective. The second Adventure game, it was introducing us to more characters, more storylines, opening us up more to the world, and getting to know what exactly are the Chaos Emeralds, what exactly is Sonic and them fighting for. The third Adventure game should have been Forces, in a way, with the Sad AM characters, I feel like. Basically just putting all these things together. Since we've been introduced to the main character in the first game, we've been introduced to more characters in the second game, and the third game should have been where the war should have been. with Eggman and the Freedom Fighters. You know, I think Forces should have been like the definitive point within Sonic's history. In terms of balance, oh yeah. No layer on the multiply layer. Poor Sonic, he's like, Tangle, we have to go this way. Even your tail is saying going this way. I know that, Sonic, but I don't think we should be going that way. Listen to me. We're going this way. All the Zone Runner comics. Those Zone Runners. Jeez Louise. I wish we had more insight on the Zone Runners. I wish they would have continued that, man. I really hope you can hear this music. I mean, it's not competing with my microphone in any way. I'm so glad this stream is running good. Zone Runner? It's from the comics, the Archie comics. Okay, Sonic, you're done. Goodbye. Tangle. Son the comic. Son the Hedgehog. Now I'm gonna use it on her. Even though I shouldn't be doing that, because you see that? That's exactly what I don't want. She looks pretty. Oh, Sonic the Comic. See, that's exactly what I didn't want. Do any of you guys know how old Tangle is? I don't think they disclosed that information yet, but I don't want a situation like Android 21 to happen right now. Go ahead and try to see through me. Do it if you can. One step forward, two steps back, I'm here. My next picture is probably going to be something Shadow the Hedgehog related. This morning I woke up singing that song. Something naughty will happen with that tail. My God, please don't say that. I know this person. I know this person and he draws some amazing pictures. It's hentai though. I feel like he will draw something like that with Tangle in her tail. Now this song reminds me of Sonic and the Black Knight here. Wow, he hasn't already? I don't know, but I'm not going to find out right at this moment. I used to draw that when I was starting out posting my stuff, like on DeviantArt, because I was just going by with what everybody thought was popular, and that was popular. If you look at my DeviantArt, actually, I have a lot of Sonato comics. That you could check out. That I'm most likely still going to be doing. Those comics that I have on DeviantArt, it's not anything bad. I don't draw, like, extreme scenes. When I was first started to put my stuff out there on DeviantArt, and I was drawing Sonic, I noticed that there was like like a Sonic fan base for Sonato and for like shipping characters and shit. So I started to ship Sonato like hardcore. But yeah, I support that. I support any type of shipping. Sonami, Sonali, preferably Sonali, maybe. You know, it depends. Shadover? Is that how you say it? Shadow and Silver? Silver and Blaze? Oh yeah, right? Fan contribution. Oh yeah, Tails and Fiona. Didn't Sonic get smacked again by Fiona? He got smacked by Sally, but didn't he get smacked again, or was that Tails? I know somebody within the Archie Sonic people likes for somebody to keep getting smacked. Do I think Sonata would do naughty stuff, or is it more a bro thing? I don't think it's like a bro thing. Sonic and Shadow has never had that type of brotherly relationship, ever. It could happen, but I don't think naughty things. No, I don't think so. But I feel like definitely with relationships like Sonic and Shadow, it could translate into a brother relationship. We see that in Dragon Ball Z. We see that in Naruto. So it's not impossible. I just don't know what the hell Sega plans on doing in terms of building relationships between characters like that. I seriously think that Sega needs to definitely explore roads like incorporating different types of characters into their stories, you know, working out maybe parent and child relationships, sibling relationships, like actual love relationships. Like the Archie Sonic comics were doing. How they were exploring all these avenues, and you was really feeling the emotion from these comics, and you know, it was very, very special that they was exploring between, you know, two people being in love with the same girl, and then a girl getting in between their relationship, or these two people who care so much about their team, but they're leaders and they have to set an example for their team, but they love each other and they know that they love each other. And eventually, you know, they admit that they love each other, but then, you know, because they love their team and their place of living so much, they can't be together. It's just very sad. Sonic really inspires me to create my own comics like that because of the raw emotions that you wouldn't think that you would feel from this comic, the previous comic, but you do feel it. I'm gonna get those Puma shoes, man. I really hope that they have a soap design concept going on. But I know those shoes are gonna be really expensive. I never bought a pair of shoes that was no more than $80. Because I don't believe in buying expensive shoes if I'm just going to destroy them. I know some people who have shelves upon shelves upon shelves of shoes in different colors and styles, and I'm just like, bro, I only have one pair of shoes. Why do you need 10 million shoes? I should have put on some Sonic Heroes music. I'm not sure which Sonic game had the best music. It has to be between Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, yeah, and Sonic Heroes. Oh yeah, cool. That would be cool. I mean, if he incorporates that in his comic, I don't think there's anything wrong with having sexual content in your comics as long as you like have the not safe for work things somewhere stated. Because I know a lot of artists, they think that drawing the sexual things is taboo, but if you look at the artists from our history, where most of the statues are naked men or naked women, you know, there was nothing wrong with that because it's art. But yeah, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable looking at that. I wouldn't feel anything looking at that. I would just feel like if it's helping the story and it's helping me to relate to the characters more and better understand the story, then totally go for it. You know. Yahoo for realism. That's exactly what I'm trying to do in my comics too. Make it realistic. Yeah, I just wish people like Tracy Yardley and Evan Stanley and people like that will actually like talk to me, because I was saying this before to Zach, how I feel like people don't like me. It's like when I tag people on things that I post on Twitter, it's like I never be getting an answer from people. I know I got an answer from Tracy and Ian a couple of times, and I keep telling myself, you know, maybe they're busy and blah 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 blah. But it's like I noticed that if Evan Stanley posts something, they'll comment right away, and I'm like, if I post something, nobody comments, and I feel so lonely. Because I just want to be part of the group. Oh yeah, definitely. I saw a couple of scenes from that anime. That anime is really good. Okay. Best performance. I'm gonna post this directly after the live stream. So if you see this on Twitter, please retweet it. I greatly appreciate it, because what I'm trying to focus on right now is getting more eyes and more attention on my stuff. In an argument, and some of these comic book people, you gotta be really careful with them when it comes to arguing. Like Tracy Yardley, I know that he's very vocal about his opinions a lot. And I always said to myself, if I ever make it in the industry, I'm never going to talk about any of my opinions whatsoever. I'm not going to talk about any political things, because I know that guy from IDW, David, he spoke about his beliefs over on Twitter, and he got a lot of backlash from it. So it's like I'm just not going to say anything. Oh yeah, when Ian Flynn was announced, yeah, nobody clapped, nobody said anything, bro. It was dead silent. I think they was expecting something, because I noticed that they paused when they said Ian Flynn, but nobody said shit. They're like, am I the only one who noticed that? Meanwhile, everybody in the room is going crazy over freaking Mighty and Ray. I was going crazy. I seriously thought it was going to be Knack, Bean, and that other dude. Because I would have totally loved to play with them, and they're already in Sonic Mania anyway. But I never would have imagined in 1,000 years that it would have been Mighty. I am so fucking happy. Oh, he's on Riverdale? You're joking, right? I know he recently got the okay to do some Mario thing for Dark Horse, was it? Was it Mario? It was some Super Mario anthology book for Dark Horse or something. I can fix this. Oh yeah, Arms. Yeah, it was not Mario, it was Arms. To be honest, I never played that game because that game really didn't appeal to me. I don't know, there's just too much fighting games that I don't feel like picking up another one just to learn it. I used to play a lot of fighting games when I was young. I used to play Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom. And then I recently picked up this Dragon Ball Z game that is lagging to no end, and I stopped playing it because it was so laggy that I'm like, I'll wait until the servers get better. Yeah. I feel like Nintendo coming out with new properties now isn't how it used to be back in the day. The only new property that was actually good was Splatoon. But back in the day, all their properties, their lineup, they had Kid Icarus, they had F-Zero, Star Fox, Samus, they had The Legend of Zelda. They had all these original titles. They had this huge lineup. They didn't know what to do with these characters, these properties. They just basically let them die and focused all their attention on Mario and Zelda. More Mario than anything because they was coming out with a new Mario game each year for a while. And it was just very hectic. And that's the main reason why I hated Nintendo for a very long time, and which is why I was more keen for Sega than Nintendo because it was a headache. And now Sega, I wish they would bring back, because they're basically doing the same thing like Nintendo. They're just focusing so much on Sonic. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but Sega has all these other different titles and properties that are really good, like Super Monkey Ball. I love that game. I wish they would come out with a new game now that we had the freaking Switch. I would love to play Super Monkey Ball on the Switch. But yeah. Level up. Level up. Bow. Oh yeah, 2013. It's crazy. But the thing I appreciate about Nintendo is that they managed to get all these games out without any real major problems with these games. That's the one thing Nintendo has kept consistent, is that they keep their quality games good. Sega, unfortunately, has a very, very bad history of just putting games out and not reviewing them to their fullest. And Sega has just a really bad history with fucking video games in general. Like, they lost their company. They just went through so much in their history. I know that I watched a documentary on them recently, but most of the information I've lost. And people have been saying that Sega should just might as well sell Sonic to Nintendo, and I really don't think that they should do that. I feel like Sega needs to get back in the game, and once they get back on their feet, come out with a new console maybe in the next 20 years or something. Like Atari, I know Atari is coming out with a console. I mean, it looks pretty good. If Sega came out with that Dreamcast console, like I've been seeing, and if they can somehow manage to do something about the gaming industry and change it entirely, they'll be back in the game. They just need to think of this one idea. Which I'm sure that they can do, because they are the first people to invent online gaming. What's up, Dendy? Dendy Kappa. I don't want to do anything else to this. I don't know what to do. This looks okay. Let's see. Okay, we can get rid of that. Do some Norrisu Chronicles. That's not a bad idea. I will definitely try to live stream tomorrow, and I will get started on that picture I said I was going to do for Ken. I'll brainstorm some ideas. Maybe we can make this like a daily stream or something. Or like a weekly stream. I definitely want to live stream more, because live streaming is easier to do than it is to do an actual video.
my pack roll.
Yeah, there is something I wanted to do with Sonic. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that. My teacher was telling me to use references. Actually, my class at SVA yesterday, my teacher was basically telling me to trace pictures, but not to trace them willy-nilly. Instead, like, try to learn from it, map out the perspective in the pictures, and look at how they're portioned and stuff. So what I can definitely say is tracing is good. I guess if a teacher who has more than 25 years in experience in comics is telling me to trace something, I'm definitely going to take his advice.
You gotta get some mother effing tracing paper.
I know, right? I need to get some mother effing tracing paper. Well, guys, I guess I'm done with this pic. You know, it wasn't meant to be a sketch. It wasn't meant to be like a pinup. I don't think I'm going to put anything in the background. If I did put something in the background, I would probably put like a child garden or something. I remember pouring so much hours into Sonic Advance with the child garden. Every night I would be raising that thing. This part is kind of throwing me off here. But I'm going to tag Tyson Hess in this picture. And hopefully he answers me. And if he doesn't answer me, I want one of you guys to tag him, because these people like answering you guys. On Discord? Cool. So yeah, this is the pinup. I'm going to post this on Twitter in about 10 minutes. Really hope you guys enjoyed this process. I was going to show you, you know, the next steps into these 4 pages that I'm going to send out to IDW. I started doing the thumbnails, and I was going to start on an actual page, but I need to finish the thumbnails, and I was going to finish this. But I am going to show you guys more of that process during the next live stream. So yeah, all my links to my social media will be in the description box down below. You guys already know all my social media. You probably follow me on all my social media, which is great. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more awesome Sonic the Hedgehog artwork. Wow, quote unquote. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed all my content. If you want me to do a specific Sonic drawing, just comment on this video after I post it, or comment on the Twitter link when I post this page. And during the live streams, I will try to sketch out the requests I get over on my Twitter account. And then if I like the picture enough, I'm going to finish it and post it over on my Patreon page for the finished ones. So yeah, I keep saying that because I don't know how to end this video. So yeah, the live stream is ending now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Alex and Zach. You guys are the best. I appreciate everybody who watched this live stream. So yeah, goodbye. Good night.